is most grieving. I found the Lord in a place where it is a crime to read the New Testament. To own a New Testament, it is a crime. And yet Islam says we respect Christianity, we respect Christ. How could that be? Just solely if you're found with the scriptures, you will be severely punished. And today, some of those countries are the best friends of the United States of America. And I think we may have other interests, but we must conduct it and we must bring it out so that they do not flout the freedom that is God-given. It isn't given by governments. And when I came to the Lord, when the Lord found me, I read the New Testament. And I found that book most revolutionary. I read from Matthew to Revelation once, Matthew to Revelation twice, Matthew to Revelation 3 times. And I began to question myself. And as I looked at it, I couldn't help but compare the prophet in his life and his standard and his teachings. And there was no way that he could stand against the claims of Christ in this absolute purity, holiness, and such a compassion for man. My glory, I can only boast in the cross of Christ. I bear the scars of Jesus in this body. Persecution is intense in Islamic countries. For people who convert, there is a death sentence. And if they open their mouth, particularly if they convert and they proclaim, then there is a death sentence. There are, as we speak, Mike, there are hundreds of people in chains today in Islamic countries. Some will be executed because of their faith in Christ. And yet the free world denies that and walks away from it. I think it is a sad day indeed. And I think the saddest part is that when they have such an amazing freedom, they don't value it. So even if they aren't Christian today, if some of your listeners are not Christians, let me tell them that what you don't use, you will lose. If you do not claim and use your freedom, then you are going to lose it. If you don't stand up for the rights of others and be the voice for the voiceless, then God is going to take it away from you. There will be never a vacuum. Another people will come and fill that vacuum. And that would be a very sad day for the United States of America. I trust that the Christians in America would stand up, would rise up, would champion the cause of the gospel, the cause of Christ among Muslims, lovingly, yet not forgetting their suffering fellow men, brothers and sisters in the Islamic world who are under a tremendous persecution. But he said the gates of hell will not prevail against my church.
Well, that's a great note for us to conclude on, and for us to bear in mind the tremendous need for prayer on behalf of our brothers and sisters who are spreading the gospel, who are even just struggling to hold on to the confession of Christ under the most difficult circumstances imaginable. It's also a time for us to take the gospel seriously ourselves, to know what we believe and why we believe it. Otherwise, we're in no position to bring the witness of Christ to a world that is increasingly under the grip of Islam. I encourage you to take it seriously, take it to heart, because Christ is our only hope. Islam offers you a prophet who brings you rules that he has made up. Christianity gives you a high priest who fulfills in his own person that law which he himself demands.